Alright, I'll cut the BS. You want to make elections? I'll show you how to make elections. Now that you have everything downloaded that you need and you have created a Wikipedia account, you can now start creating. So let's say you wanted to make an election where, let's say for instance, Donald Trump won 2020. Well, you will go to the original page of the 2020 United States presidential election, and there are two things you can do here. If you really need the map, you can go to this eye in the corner here with the map, click that, and then you will come to this page and you will want to click the map in front of you and save as. But I already have that in my computer. Next, to actually get the Wikibox, you're going to need to go to View Source and go down to here. Now you're going to want to be very careful here because you don't want to actually edit the page. You will want to put it here. So look at this and go to the infobox election and simply highlight all of that and then add it into here. Now press show preview and voila, or well, voila, whatever you really want to say. You have it right here with all the candidates and everything there. So now you want to actually start editing it so, you know, it looks nice. So go to the candidates, which is image 1, nominee 1, party 1, and usually to make sure that you're not messed up, I like to just put a space here and then a space between the next candidate, and that candidate also put a space in between that and the map. So now you have two of these. These are the presidential nominees. Usually, if you really want, you could just change these to, or from image 1 to image 2, and image 2 to image 1, and all of these to 1, all of these to 2. You understand what I mean. But personally, I like to keep these things here and just change the nominees. So I also like to add middle names, or well, middle initials. So Donald J. Trump, and change this to the Republican Party, then Florida, then Mike Pence. Well, it would be Michael P. Pence, I believe. Now here is where you get your electoral votes and the states carried. I personally like to use Yaps MS for this. So go to their historical and go to 2020. Now I'm just gonna make him win Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. That gives him 289 electoral votes. So you can just add that there, and you can also count the states, which is just adding 4 to 5, so that is 29. Now you're going to take these and you're going to copy them and then delete them from there and add them to this. Now take Maine's 2nd Congressional District, take that away, and then add it to this. And adding these 3 little dots there will help a lot, as that shows that it was 1 over the opponent. So I guess that's actually not Mike Pence's middle initial. Let's check what it is. I'm probably just being stupid here. Michael R. Pence. But as I was saying, now you have the popular vote, which you can change it to whatever you want. I'm just going to change it to a 76, and then just add whatever numbers you want to add. And there, you have 1 done already. So now you want to do the same thing to the other part, which I'll be right back and I'll get that done. So I am back from doing what I had to do, and this is how it should look. What I did is that I went to the nominee 2 and just changed it around to the other candidate and changed some other stuff around. Hold on, something's not right here. Add that. And I also changed everything down here as well. Missed a few spots. And this is how it should probably look. Now, I do a few different things with my maps that are different, and as well with my wiki boxes. I like to add color to it, and other things as well. So, you go here to home state, and if you do flag Florida, do the same thing for Delaware, flag Delaware, show preview again, go back, spelled it wrong, you can get the flag right next to the name of the state. And you can also change the colors of the candidates as well. So I'll go to SVG, or I'll go to Inkspace and let that boot up for a second to get my color. As you can take this color here and add it to the color here. So I'm just going to get the 2000 or the 2020 SVG and take the color here, and you can add it to the candidates. So here, all you gotta do is this line of code and then this other line of code to get a nice blue color. Showing preview. Then it changes the colors to, whatever color you would want. Now at the bottom, Inkscape has this really cool thing where they have different colors for red. So if I wanted to have a darker red like this, which I personally like, I could get that and add it to here. Now if I wanted a darker blue, I would just make it a darker blue. And you can add it to the page, and this is what it would look like. Now, how to get your own customized portraits? Well, what you do is that I usually use I usually use one portrait, So I will take the Donald Trump official portrait and add it to here. Showing the preview, you have two Donald Trumps, which kind of spooky. So what I do is that I like to zoom in, which is just control and then scroll. And it brings it much closer and has better quality for your screenshot. Now, how are you going to screenshot this? Well, I'm using Windows, so you press the Windows key, Shift, and S. It will now allow for you to screenshot, which you can just screenshot it like this. Now, this is where the fun part begins. You get to use paint.net. Now, I usually put in 10,000 by 10,000 pixels to get my desired aspect ratio of my election. So you just copy this into there, and you just keep, screenshotting the rest of it. So I'll be right back. So now that you have all of this screenshotted, what I like to do is I like to go down to here and count out 5 pixels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I use this tool here to take all of this and then open my own space here. So now if there's any cracks, you can just add a new layer and color the background. And if you have any more odd areas like this, just use this and copy it. And bring it down to here. You're usually not going to have this issue, but I did. So And then just use this, and I usually just color the rest in if it's just something that easy. And then you have this now. So you want to change the portraits. Now you could have them like this, which if you want to, that's cool. Or you could get rid of them by highlighting them and clicking the scissors. Now making another layer and adding it to the back of it will allow for you to add something. So I'm just going to go quickly onto Pinterest, and I'm going to get Donald Trump. And look for whatever image you may like. Some of these are a bit silly, so I'll go with this one and add it in. Now I like to size it up a bit more so that it looks a bit nicer. Now look up Joe Biden. And before you forget, I usually like to get rid of the other one as well. And then you have this with 2 customized cool portraits. Now is down to the fun part, is where you can actually start to change the map. So go back to Inkscape and get the 2020 election map or whatever year you're wanting to do. And you can click on a state like this because it's an SVG. And change it to whatever color you want. I want to change it to a color like that, and click all the states that you're wanting to change to that color. So this would be going through all the Republican states, or all the red states, you know what I mean, in 2020, and changing them to this color. Hold on. Okay. Oh. Alright. Like that. Now I'm going to keep this blue because I personally like that blue. Now, if you want to change the numbers here, you can, just by clicking on them and changing it to 338. Want to change the nominees, click on them and change it to Biden or Trump. So now that you have this map done, you're going to want to save as and change it to whatever name. I'm just going to change it to Biden Trump 2020. And you can click out of there now and go back and go to a website called SVG to PNG. Here you can go into your SVGs and you can get your SVG from in here. It converts it to a PNG, which you can now download and you can add to somewhere like that. Open up everything. Biden, Trump. Highlight that and then add it to your map. Size it up a bit more depending on how you want it to look. And then you can take the color of the background, size up your brush, and then just paint over. Oh, Jesus Christ. Wow. I used the wrong one. And then just paint over it. And with everything said and done, this is what it should look like. A nice selection for you to post to r/imaginary maps.